In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what Nero Knowledge does to generate 146K per month with his coaching business. Now, if you're a coach, creator, or a consultant and you want to scale your coaching business organically, this video is made for you because I'll be breaking down the exact strategies and systems Nero uses to generate this much money. So stick around till the end to find out. Anyway, I'm not going to overcomplicate this. It's a simple Miro board. I haven't even done some crazy edits on this Miro board. I'm just going to be going through the exact step-by-step process. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay, so a bit of an overview. There are 3 steps involved: his YouTube strategy, his Instagram strategy, and his conversion process. I'll be going through all of these 3 steps, starting with the YouTube strategy. Now, working on developing a clear YouTube strategy that allowed him to attract and nurture his ICP was a game changer. It helped him go from making 3 to 5K per month with his YouTube channel to making 146K per month. And I'm pretty sure he's doing much more than that right now. Now, in order to understand what actually allowed him to go from 3.3 to 5K to 146K, we need to see what he was doing before and what he's currently doing. So his previous content strategy was basically that he didn't have a proper strategy. He was making generic content that was ineffective. Now, his previous content style was like this. Basically, he used generic stock footage that decreased watch time. He had weak packaging. His titles and thumbnails didn't really create a strong reason for the viewers to click, which meant that they're not really going to receive the value that he was providing. He had voiceover content, which made it really difficult for the viewer to comprehend what he's trying to say and actually relate to him in any sort of way. His videos were pretty short, 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 9 minutes, 11 minutes, but basically they were in the range of 5 to I believe 13 or something, but they were pretty short. And short videos basically means that he didn't have that much time to nurture and pre-sell his audience. That means his audience hopped on sales calls with a million objections and not really wanting to work with him. His delivery of the content, since it was voiceover content and he wasn't really showing his face, it made him sound like he was reading off a script, which made the viewers click away from his videos, making the watch time decrease and the YouTube not really being pushed out to more people. And the titles weren't SEO optimized, making the videos harder to reach the ICP, etc., etc. Now, this was his previous content strategy, and just by the YouTube videos, you can see there's so much wrong stuff that he wasn't really doing. There's so much wrong things that are wrong over here. Now, like, it's quite obvious that this didn't work well for him, so naturally he had to change his strategy so that he could generate sales from the videos that he was making, which is pretty much the main aim for any coach, creator, consultant that want to acquire clients organically. They make videos just to basically acquire clients, not to get views or followers or whatever, just to get sales from the videos they make. Now, his current content strategy that allows him to generate 146K per month is basically doing the opposite of what he was doing before, which is extremely important. Now, this is how his videos look like right now, and these are what his videos look like before. Now, on the spot, you can see there's a big difference, but let me just get more into the details. Now, his videos had no fancy, current videos have no fancy editing, so it's basically raw, but at the same time it has editing, like cutting the ahs, whatever, but it's really like to the point, and not many animations aren't flying and popping up every 2 to 3 seconds. It's just straight to the point, which is something that his ICP likes. Now, he also has no fancy thumbnails. Basically, it's a very authentic version of the thumbnails. You can just see there's a whiteboard behind him. Pretty sure he's gonna write something on the whiteboard to teach you the video title. Now, titles are search engine optimized, such as how to be so calm in every situation. It makes reality nervous. It's basically how to, you are. This is an outlier video, which I will explain in a minute, but they're basically search engine optimized, meaning his videos can rank up to YouTube search bar more than his competitors' videos. Now his proven video ideation format, how-to content, you could see how to belief shifting content. This is belief shifting content over here. Like what is the frequency that winners operate on that I can do, and this is also belief shifting content. Answering audience questions, basically he makes videos on the questions his audience has. And outlier content, for example, this video is an outlier video because you could see this title is being used in multiple niches such as the sales, high ticket sales, ecom, and now it is being used in his niche. Now, his content is in depth, which gives him ample amount of time to nurture his audience, pre-sell him, so that when they hop on sales calls, they don't even need to hop on sales calls because they piff in the DMs, or if they hop on sales call, they just have like 2 or 3 questions just to see if they're the right fit or not. So in this, what happens is that you're not selling to the viewer, you're not selling to the prospect, they're selling themselves to you on why they would be a perfect fit for you. Now, for example, you could see 1 hour and 15 minutes long, 1 hour 54. So approximately all of his videos reach 1 hour, which is a heck load of time to nurture his viewers. Now he started showing his face that to build authenticity, and basically when you see his face, you would watch the video for a longer period of time and you would relate to him. His packaging is optimized to create curiosity. How is this done? Basically creating open loops in the viewer's mind. Watching the video is the only way to close the loop. For example, you could see this title, How to Love Yourself So Much That the Universe Loves You. Now it's a very intriguing title because what can you do to love yourself this much that the universe repays you for it? So the only way to actually learn how to do that is by clicking on the video and watching this 1 hour video, and in this 1 hour he nurtures you. Now this is it for his YouTube strategy, and pretty much basically the only the thing that was a game changer for him was to do basically the opposite of what he's doing, what he did before. Now we're coming on to his Instagram strategy, but quick, if you're infopreneur, coach, or consultant and you want to scale your business through organic client acquisition, click the first link in the description below. Let's get back to the video. Although his main focus is YouTube and he basically gets most of his clients from YouTube, Instagram is also a source where he gets more traffic and eyeballs on his offer. Now on Instagram, number one, he has a sales optimized bio. Basically the thing he does with his Instagram, you can do multiple things, but his Instagram is driven to generate him sales. That's the only reason. It's basically like a landing page, but more like Gen Z. Now he in his bio he explains who he helps. Hidden knowledge that athletes, entrepreneurs, and actors basically hire him, but they won't tell you. He explains like these 3 categories I can help. Then he gives a CTA, DM me this word if you want to get started, and he builds credibility like 300k on YouTube in 8 months, which is pretty crazy. And with this credibility line, people basically search him on YouTube, where they find his YouTube channel and they see, oh okay, this guy really has 300k followers. They subscribe to him, get nurtured by him, and then if it's the right fit, they convert. Now he also redirects them to his VSL, so that they don't just click off his Instagram page but have the next, and they have a next step to do. Now in his post, he basically shows his lifestyle, which overall builds credibility. He has his own book, credibility, authority, and authenticity. All of these 3 things, he basically shows his lifestyle, and the Instagram page is basically drive to create credibility, authority, and authenticity. Now for his reels, he has his pinned a reel, which is which is basically the most viral reel he has. You can also pin a video you've made breaking down a certain result you got for your client/student. For example, over here in this video, let me just click it. In this video, you can basically see I break down the exact result I got from my client, how I was able to generate her 7 calls in 24 hours from 1 Instagram story sequence, and I break down basically everything. So you could have a video, pin video like that, or you could just do your most viral one, anything that drives credibility, and builds credibility authority in the viewer's mind. Now his reels are made by clipping the most valuable and intriguing parts of his YouTube videos. Therefore, there is no extra effort to film. He doesn't need to put any extra effort to film his Instagram videos, because it's just his YouTube videos are clipped and then his Instagram videos are made. So that's it for his Instagram Reels section. Now, the last section of his Instagram, which is arguably the most important, is his story highlights. Now, the main purpose of the story highlights is to nurture plus build trust with the viewers that visit or already follow Nero. Now, the library, he has like 4 highlights: client results, library, YouTube, and my story. The library and YouTube highlights are pretty straightforward. The library highlight actually showcases the books he's read, show his ICP, since his ICP basically show his ICP to know what he's talking about. The information he's giving is basically backed up by a lot of learning he's done. Now, the YouTube is highlight basically redirects the people on his Instagram to his YouTube. So he does it, number one, by his bio over here when he says 300k on YouTube, and number two, he does it with his YouTube story highlight. So it's quite impossible to miss that he has a YouTube channel. Now, however, let's dig deep into the client result highlight. His client, he basically shows off client results: 10k day coaching for a coaching client, no change in his business, just a change in his mind. Though same case with 1.5k to 3k per day, just 36 days after our first coaching call, and then 600k straight from the ether, and then basically gives the client testimonial. Now, this builds insane amount of authority, because people can actually see that what he's teaching is working for his coaching clients, and hence they want to be part of it. This builds authority. Now, the second client highlight, which is his story, which is extremely important, because people can copy your offer, people can copy your basically videos, marketing tactics, whatever, but they can't copy you, your face, and basically your story. So actually pushing it out every once in a while is great, because it just differentiates you from most of the people out there. So in his story, he basically explains his story, which is that he was raised by a single mom, and a lot of people who have single moms can relate to him, hence they would want to move forward and see what he's about. And the most people who will buy from you will be the people who relate to you, or in, for example, the same ethnicity as you, follow the same religion, or have like somewhat something common with you, and those are the people that will most likely buy with you. So it's extremely important to push out your values, morals, and basically who you are, your story. He explains it in this highlight, and he also explains his before, like at 16 he was doing this. He couldn't even afford books, didn't want to stress out his mom or auntie, so he just downloaded PDFs, audiobooks, whatever. And then he shows, this is basically his before, and this is after the come up. So in his after, he shows he has 100 plus coaching clients, in which includes 7-figure entrepreneurs, what he's helped them with, and what he's currently doing, how he's winning, living in a floor apartment in the city with 2 balconies, with an office in my crib, basically explaining the before and after. Now, this is amazing, because it not only builds authenticity, but it inspires people, it motivates them, and it releases, it basically makes people release dopamine. Now, this is it for his Instagram. And lastly, we're going to go over his conversion process. Now, to be honest, his conversion process is extremely easy. This is actually the most easiest part for him, because all of the nurturing, objection handling questions have been answered by the assets he's launched on YouTube, and the attention he's redirected from Instagram to YouTube. So basically, YouTube is the biggest play in his marketing strategy. Now, if you don't want to copy Instagram, which I do think you should, because you should copy everything I'm saying in this video, but definitely take a definitely start taking action on your YouTube, since it's gonna be a sales machine for you. And if you want my help, click the first link in the description below, where you can book a one-on-one call with me, and I can explain how we can actually help you handle every single thing about your YouTube, making you have a hands-off system, and the only thing you have to do is basically record. Now, like I was saying, his ICP hops on the sales call, knowing the price point, what Nero can do, and how he can potentially help them. So, just to basically summarize it, they are warm and pre-sold. And like I said, when people are the main difference between outbound and inbound is that in outbound you're selling to people, you're selling them on how you could potentially get this result, whatever. In inbound, and I'm not saying outbound doesn't work, but if you want something that will last for a lifetime and actually make your business enjoyable, you have to start taking the inbound route, which will basically make people come to you, and they will be selling themselves to you on how they're the right fit for your coaching, and how basically all of that. Now, what happens is that the viewers binge hours of Nero's content for free. Then this builds trust, because his free content is so good. It's like 1 hour with insane values. So obviously they're getting nurtured and they trust him. When they're ready, they click on the YouTube description, and his YouTube description is basically does 3 things. Number one, he redirects them to his book, so that people can purchase his book. And if people don't want to grab his book, what they can do is that he specifies entrepreneurs and athletes. So if you're not in one of these two categories, you shouldn't click on this link. And if you want to see a 2 to 5x result in 7 weeks without changing your strategy or training, click this link. And he basically redirects them to his VSL. His YouTube description is, like his Instagram bio, is sales optimized. Now, once people watch his video sales letter, which basically has a VSL explaining how he could potentially help them and what he can do for him, so it basically shows what results he can get, what the people don't have to do, and he'll basically in this video show how they can get this certain result. And in this video he basically explains what happens when you join his coaching program. Now, he also shows multiple client testimonials, just to show again that this is working for other people and they're also crushing it. If they can crush it, you just need the right strategy. Now, what happens is that once the people are nurtured by his VSL, his YouTube content, his Instagram story highlights, they basically click on the VSL whenever they're ready, consume the VSL, basically get satisfied once again that this is the right decision by seeing client testimonials, and then they book a call with him, and basically if they're the right fit, they turn into clients. Now, let me just elaborate again. The difference between warm traffic is, I don't know why warm isn't written over here, but basically difference between warm and versus cold. Sorry, I was getting OCD, but anyway, the difference between warm and cold traffic is that when leads, the traffic that comes for inbound, the leads are warm, which means you have a higher closing rate, and the sales calls are basically easier. They're not even sales calls, they're more of like onboarding calls, because like I said, people know your price point, they know what you can do to help them, and they just want to get started. But however, with cold traffic, your closing rate goes down, and people don't really know what you do, so you literally spend hours on sales calls, and at the end they answer with, oh, I need to think about it. And we all don't want to be in that position. Now, warm traffic basically makes client acquisition a hell lot of easier. Anyway, this is a Nero Knowledge's entire strategy breakdown that allows him to generate 146k per month, his YouTube, Instagram, and conversion process. Now, if you want to see how I can potentially help you scale your coaching, consulting, or service-based business, and if you're doing above 20k per month, click the first link in the description below.